Hello, welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today you're gonna see how to plan a jump cupboard like this, where also the cupboard is going from the front to the back. All right, we will go step by step through it, and when there are any questions, just let me know in the chat. I will keep an eye on it. And first of all, we click on here and we turn off the room. And we activate here the smart clicks. Yeah, and I will show you to draw it with open fronts. Yeah, we will also have here interior draws, and I also let you know what needs to be considered. Yeah, as well as like here the setup for the trims on top and on the sides. All right, then let's start. We will activate here the doors, and then we click on File and create a new project. So I already saved it, so we don't need to save it. So first of all, you see now we have our default cabinet in a default room, and we need to type in the measurements of the room. That is for the walls already done. The room size is also fine. And here we type on this to set up the ceiling apex, and this has a height of 250 mil. Yeah, and here for the right side, the same. Yeah, here you need to consider that is causing errors when you set this to 0 as well as when you set this value to 0 here, the length of the slope for the side. Yeah, so here we have 1500. And we confirm this with enter. And here the same, we type in 1500 and confirming this with enter. Also, when you have a sloping roof, it's also important that you have still a little gap here. Yeah, it's also important most of the time it's for the trim, yeah, that you don't get like a triangle. We don't want to have this. We want to have like a still shape like a square, yeah, with 4 sides. Yeah, otherwise it can causing problems with the calculation in the program code. Yeah. All right. That is important to consider. Yeah. Now we can continue with the project, and we want to have our cabinet here on the left wall. That means we are clicking here on a cross in front of the cabinet, and here we choose the wall. Yeah, you see here also 0 means the middle wall. We want to have it on the left one. That's why we type in number 1 and confirming it with enter. So this is also well done. And now we set up the cabinet and the links. The width of the cabinet is 3500 millimeter. Later on we will add the trims, and it means that the cabinet is getting smaller. All right, the height we can also adjust later on. Yeah, first of all, on the beginning we type in here 1 meter, 1000 millimeter, and this is fine. All right, yeah, when this is done, we are going to the plinths and the trims. Yeah, we want to have like a frame around the cabinet which is 50. Now we type in here 50. You already saw in the background, it's also adjusting. Yeah, we want to have it here for the left side as well, and for the right, as well as for the top. Yeah, we just activate it here, and here we are. Okay, when this is done, we will probably come back to it later, but for now, let's continue with the division tab. And here we wanna drag and drop 4 verticals in our project. That means we type in here number 4, and we're just dragging and dropping it in here. And we wanna divide it with 1 horizontal. Here you can drag and drop it 1 by 1 for every area, or you go here, you drag it on a vertical, and you have it in all areas. So you see they are also related to each other, and on bottom we want to have here an interior drawer. Yeah, and here the height should be 110 for maximum, and we don't need a specific depth. That's why we cancel this value. And here we can choose the distance to the bottom. We say it's 5 millimeter. Yeah, and then we can drag it and drop it here in the area where we want to have it. Now we see here it's fitting well. And it's also a Movento, that's all right. Now we want to have it here as well. So in the middle it would be a bit different because it should be in the end symmetrical. Here we want to have a shelf, and on the both right sides we have an interior drawer again. So for the next step we want to have the doors, and with the doors automatically are coming the distance panel. Yeah, when we click here on front, and here on the drop down menu for the doors, and here we go in the setting for the hinges, or like for the hardware, which means the hinges in this case. Yeah, you see here you can choose the distance for interior drawers. Yeah, here you can also change this value when you want to have it thicker. All right, so yeah, you see here also our hinges. Yeah, like the bloom. You see here we have here also different ones. So TrunCAD is automatically choosing for the right case the right hinge automatically. Yeah, so we just close it here, and what we are doing now is we just drag and drop here the left door. Here it's also important to drag it, to drop it on horizontal, and here we are. So we want to have a left door here as well, and a right door this side, and I didn't want to have this, it was accidentally. So the right door here. Yeah, when sometimes happens, then you can click on here and delete it. So And here in the middle, we want to have a double door. So now we can click on a red eye and draw the fronts open. So what you see on this side where the hinges are, you see we automatically get a distance panel. Yeah, here on the left side, but not on the right. And here we don't have on the left side the hinges, it's only on the right. Yeah. So in the middle, we don't have an interior drawer, and here the same. Yeah, we can now also draw it visible. Yeah, then we also see it here. All right. And now we draw it with closed fronts. And what we are doing now is we are that it looks a bit different. That we click here on material and we choose here other material. So I want to have this, and here we click also activate all parts of the group. So that we have here the trim and the front with the same color. Okay, yeah, now we can turn off the smart legs and we turn on the room, and what we are seeing, we have here still a gap, yeah, and here yeah, it's also here on a gap. Yeah, so when we want, we can here also, I will turn on here the smart legs again. You can here also click here and we can change the distance to back like 50 mil. And then we have here gap. Yeah, and when we look on here to don't change the size of or the height of the cabinet, yeah, because when we click now on cabinet and we are changing here the height for this, like to 10, then you see it doesn't change anything here, but the cabinet is getting smaller. So instead of this, we can here also say still 50. Yeah, we can also extend this to 1050. Yeah, and when we want to close this or want to have here an overlap, yeah, then we can also go in here on the cabinet for the trim and we set an overlap at the top like for 60 mil. As it is possible. And what we also can do is we can change here the offset. Now we can here change the offset like to 30, and you see, yeah, or the offset. I see the width I forgot on the beginning should be 600. Yeah, so and then we can also change the offset like to 60, yeah, that we still have a little gap. Yeah, so you can change the offset, the height for the cabinet, or here also the height of the trim. You have many ways for a good solution. Yeah. Also here for the trims on the side. Yeah, we can also choose the offset here to 60 for the left and right side. So, and what you see, I will turn off here now the smart clicks. Yeah, you see here, when it's blinking like this, we have here an overlap. So what we can do now is either to measure this and to shorten here the left side. Yeah, it's DZ, it's 50. Now when we go here to the left side and we set here overlap at top, minus 50. Yeah, then you see we have it like this. Or when we say here also overlap top should be 60. That's a bit too much. It needs to be 30. So then it's the same height. And this is 60. Ah, no, that is the collision. So we don't want to have this. Offset 60 is right, and overlap to top is 50. Yeah, now it's working, and here for the cabinet on top, we can also go here in the setting. Yeah, and here we can say distance left should be 0. Yeah, and then it's 0. We need to have 50 for both sides. Yeah, now because the trim on the left side has a size of 50, and when we have here an overlap of 50, then it's suitable now. So you see it also for the left side. Yeah, and what we need to do now is here also overlap for the right one, top. It's 50, and here's the overlap to the top is also 50. Not 60 is 50. Yeah, now it's nice and neat. So you can either extend, like we have done it here, the trims on the side, and to shorten the trim on top, or you say here we want to have it here smaller, then we would have an overlap of minus 50. Yeah, and then you could extend the panel on top. Yeah, but in this case we are leaving it like this, and we have here still a little gap which you can adjust on the side. All right, yeah, now we are pretty much done. Last but not least, yeah, when we go here back to the front tab and we click here on the drop down menu for the handles, you can here also choose a knob. Yeah, then it's a bit more decent. Yeah, and now you can here also click on the room tab and set the ceiling invisible, and you can present it to your customer. You can here also draw the fronts open or visible, or like as usual closed. So here we have the glass view. Here you can also choose your favorite view. And in the end, when you could convince your customer and he is happy, you can click now on data export to get here the cutting list. Yeah, with when you click your export ASCII, you can save the cutting list. And just click on save, and then you have saved it in a folder where you want to save it. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to our next time. Next week we have a workshop week, our winter workshop week, WWW, and in the week after we will have our next webinar together. Yeah, also in December we will also launch a new patch, and you will hear from us. So take care and have fun planning with TrunCAD. Bye bye.